Hi, this is Dr. P. Ramshakar, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Civil Engineering at SRM Madurai College for Engineering and Technology. In this section, we are going to discuss about the introduction to highway engineering. In this section, what are the points we are going to discuss? So that is introduction, highway planning and approaches to urban highway planning, location, survey in rural and urban areas, location control, elements of typical cross-section of roads, types of cross-sections, classification of highways. So definition of highway planning is highway planning provide the information, tools and public involvement need for improving transportation system performance. The highway planning is also continuous process that require monitoring of systems performance and conditions. Highway planning affects policies, choice among alternative strategies, priorities, funding allocations. So that also affects the land uses, air quality standards, National Environmental Policy Acts, Disability Acts, environmental justice. So what are the types of plans here? That is long range strategies, project and facilities, implementations, improvement, comprehensive site and country wide. So highway planning process are 6 steps. So that is identification of goals, generation of alternative methods of accomplishing these objectives, determination of impact of different alternatives, evaluation of different alternatives, selection of one alternatives and that implementations. Highway engineering. So what is highway engineering? Highway engineering is a subdiscipline of civil engineering which deals the application of technology and scientific principle to the planning, functional design, operation and management facilities for any mode of transportation in other to provide the safe, rapid, comfortable, convenient, economical and environmental compatible movement of people and good transports. The planning aspects of transport engineering related to urban planning and involve technical forecasting, decisions and political factors. The highway engineering as practiced by civil engineers primarily involves planning, design, construction, maintenance and operation of transportation facilities. The highway engineering is nothing but the highway engineering is a discipline which involves design, construction, maintenance of roads and systems, urban streets as well as parking facilities. So, important aspects of highway engineering include overall planning of routes, financing, environmental impact evaluation and value engineering to compare alternatives. So here the transportation networks divided into 3 parts: land, land transportation, water transportation and air transportation. So in land transportation, roadway, railways, pipelines; in water transportation, inland waves and overseas waves. So air transportation here, domestic airways, international airways. So the domestic airways is a public undertaking and international airways may be in private airlines. The role of transportation network in the development of countries, that is lifeline of the country, transportation, turning of local market into national market, helps in development of economic, national integration of the country and cultural integrations. So highway engineering here, definitions again: the applicable of technology and scientific principles to the planning and functional design, operation, management of roads, streets, highway, their networks, their terminals, abutting lands, and relationship with the other mode of transportation. And also it covers the areas of highway engineering, planning of streets and highways, geometric designs and road facilities, traffic operations and controls, traffic safety, maintenance of road facilities and controls. So what are the history of road construction here? The first road is Roman road construction. So this the figure shows the basic cross section of that Roman road construction. The first layer of the road is the bottom of the trench, and Romans put the big layer of stones. Then second layer of the road is broken stones, pebbles and cement, sand to make a firm base. Then third layer cement mixed with broken tiles. Then fourth layer the pavement stone form the surface of the road, and this will be cut so they fit together tightly, and side curbstones at the sides in the paving stones and made the channel for the water to the runway. So the history of road development in India, that is ancient period, Mughal period, British period and post-independence. So ancient period is 3500 BC, Mughal period 15th century, British period 17th to 18th century and post-independence 1947. Types of ancient Indian roadways: the Indus Valley Civilization, the roadways with brick trains on both sides. The Mughal Empire in 4th century constructed Rajpath and Banikpaths. The Ashoka regime period, the road network with horticulture and rest houses at 4.8 to 6.4 kilometers along the roads. And Mughal period, trunken roads between the northwest to eastern part and also linking coastal and central part of the India. And British period, trunken roads, bridges, PWDs was formed, the construction of grand trunk roads. So this is the types of development of roads. The impact of transportation is economic development, social development, spatial development, cultural development and political development. So here the classification of highways depending on whether all weather roads and bad weather roads, and depending on the carriageways, paved roads and unpaved roads, depending upon the pavement surface, the surface roads and unsurfaced roads. Here the classification based on traffic volume, heavy, medium, light, and based on load and tonnage, class 1, class 2 and class A, B as per the ton, based on location and function. So the based on modified system of highway classifications are expressway, national highway, then secondary state highway and district roads, and territory district roads and VR roads. So here what are the patterns which are used in India? So rectangular or block patterns, radial or star block patterns, radial or star circular pattern, radial or star grid pattern, hexagonal pattern, minimum travel pattern. So here the urban road classifications are arterial road, subarterial road, collector road, local street, cul-de-sac, pathway and driveway. Here we are going to see that movement function. Vertical part, this is access function. Horizontal part is movement function. So access function which is increasing in order, which is decreasing in order, and movement function, that traffic function is increasing in order. So first thing, cul-de-sac road is unrestricted areas, so access function is less, and local collector street minor arterial and major arterials, expressways, freeways, that is access function is maybe increased, and also the speed also increased. Expressways and motorways. The types of road, in the type of road, heavy traffic at high speed 120 km per hour, land width is 90 meter, then full access control, connect major points of traffic generations. It connects the districts or connect the states. The connect major point of traffic generation, no slow moving traffic allowed, no loading, unloading, parking except dedicated place. Arterial road, here the no frontages, no standing vehicles, very little cross traffic, design speed is 80 km per hour, land width is 50 to 60 meter, spacing 1.5 km in congested areas and 8 km or more in sparsely developed areas, divided roads with full and partial parking, pedestrian allowed and to walk only at intersections, subarterial road, bus stops but no standing vehicle, less mobility than arterial, spacing for congested areas is 0.5 km, suburban fringes 3.5 km, design speed is 60 km per hour, land width 30 to 40 meter, collector street, collected and distribute traffic from local streets, provide access to artificial roads located in residence, business and industrial areas, full access allowed, parking permitted, design speed 50 km per hour, land width 20 to 30 meter. Local street, design speed 30 km per hour, land width 10 to 20 meter, primary access to residence, business and other abutting properties, less volume to traffic at slow speed, origin and termination of trips, unrestricted parking, pedestrian movement with frontage edges, parked vehicles, bus stops and no waiting restrictions. Cul-de-sac, this is a dead end road which is only entry access for entry and exit, recommended in residential area only. Road function. So here the road function, movement of persons and goods. So here the two roads which is go right hand side and left hand side. This one direction and another direction. This is accessibility to abutting lands. So the expressway is transferred to the road, arterial roads, and the turns are there, left direction, right directions. Here the hierarchical structures of road network. The upper diagram is rural roads and lower diagram is urban roads. In urban, the roads occupied in urban areas and roads occupied in rural areas. So the main circle is the cities, towns and villages. So the main cities and towns and villages that connected to the arterial road and collectors roads and local roads. So the type of occupations of cities and local areas which is occupied in that places. So from that places, how we are connecting the roads. So their main point, the dotted point is the artificial roads and green color point is the collectors roads. In the lower diagram, the urban roads, the dotted line is the main line, the main dark line is the artificial road. This connect overall the overall the area, and the subdivided into the commercial areas, and local streets are double line, and dotted lines are collectors roads, and the dark lines shaded with that is public area. The cross thing is commercial area. Here the mobility versus accessibility. The road classes of freeway, the through movement, exclusive road function, surface artificial, the is the road function through the movement primary and some land access. Here the road class is collector road. For the collector roads, the road function is traffic movement to the higher rank roads, access to the abutting properties, and class local road, access to the abutting lands and local traffic movements. Here the mobility and accessibility was the land access and to the mobility. How we are collecting this? The arterial road having the mobility is having the major points, and collector roads is somewhat less, 50% access is there, and local road is the very small amount of access is there. The history of movements and roads in three phases: origination, drive wave, local roads, access. The collector road is collection, transaction is the ramp, the main movement is artificial highway, transaction is ramp, distribution is collector, access the local roads, and termination. Here the movement, the from friend's house, it take the driveway and local roads and distribution roads, and he transferred to the movement in main roads, the collector roads and local roads, and orientation of originations wave and to the house. The factors influencing highway alignment and planning, that is requirements of short, easy, safe, economical. The factors controlling alignment is the obligations points, the obligative points through which alignment is to pass, bridge site, intermediate town, and maintain some mountain passes. The obligative points through which alignment should not pass is traffic and the geometric designs, economic and other considerations. Additional care in hill roads are stability, drainage, geometric standards of hill roads, and existing length. So these are the factors influencing the highway alignment and planning. Thank you.